Have you ever felt that? That really deep, almost primal connection to the natural world, like a whisper of power, maybe, or some instinct you can't quite explain.
Hmm.
What if that feeling wasn't just, a random thought, but actually a legacy, a kind of wild inheritance passed down through generations of women in your family?
That's a powerful idea.
It really is. And today we're doing a deep dive into a novel that explores exactly that, Weyward by Emilia Hart.
Fantastic book.
It is. And this isn't your typical historical analysis. It's more of a journey through these interwoven lives across centuries, all connected by this mysterious lineage.
The Weyward lineage.
Exactly. And Weyward here isn't just a name, it's an identity, this wildness inside, really deeply tuned into nature, but often misunderstood, feared, even called sinister by the outside world.
Right, that label becomes dangerous.
Definitely. So our mission today is to unpack how three women, Alpha in 1619, Violet in the 1940s, and then Kate much later in 2019, how they each navigate these incredibly oppressive worlds.
Shockingly similar worlds in some ways.
In fundamental ways, yeah, and how they find their voices and draw this incredible strength from nature itself.
The untamed power of nature, as you said.
We'll explore how their struggles, their triumphs, reveal this legacy that really challenges societal norms and sort of redefines what it means to be wild and ultimately free.
It's a fascinating premise.
Yeah.
And the novel does such a brilliant job showing how that connection to nature becomes both, a danger and a salvation for them. It's not just scenery.
No, absolutely not. It's like an active force.
Exactly. It responds to them.
So to really get this legacy, we need to look at the kinds of confinement they face first. Let's start there. Beginnings of captivity, 3 women, 3 eras, shared chains.
Okay.
So 1619, we meet Alpha, and she is literally imprisoned. Lancaster Castle dungeon. The descriptions are, they're visceral.
Well, absolutely. Dark, damp.
Yeah, even darker than where she was before. Her gut churned between hunger and sickness. The straw is sodden, moldering. You can almost smell the sweet rot mingling with the reek of old piss.
Grim. Truly grim.
And she's not there for, theft or something common. She's accused of practicing the wicked and devilish arts called witchcraft, specifically for causing a man's death. John Milburn.
You feel that cold, the fear. The source mentions how fear bled into the air, seeped into the stone.
Totally. And she's facing this prosecutor with these cold, pale blue, like a jackdaw's eyes. And maybe worst of all, the testimony of Grace Milburn, her friend, who's being forced to condemn her. Alpha's chains are real iron.
Yeah. And what's so striking is that then you jump forward centuries later to Violet, and her captivity feels just as profound, even though her prison is this gleaming house, Orton Hall.
Right, not stone walls, but rules. Her father's dark lines of rules.
Exactly. She can't even leave the estate. Her whole world just shrinks down to this grand but totally stifling house. And the betrayal gets deeper, doesn't it? Her cousin, Frederick, sexually assaults her in the woods she used to love.
Which is just awful.
It's more than awful. It's this systematic attempt to control her body, her future. And then she gets pregnant.
And her father's reaction.
No support, just a plan to send her away. To Windermere, to a sanatorium, which is just a euphemism, really.
A place to hide her away, control her.
Right. And Frederick's lie about it all, that Violet wouldn't take no for an answer.
Yeah.
It's just this chilling example of how power twists truth, blaming the victim.
That lie,
Right.
It really does echo, doesn't it? And then we get to 2019, to Kate, escaping a different kind of abuse, but just as insidious.
If not more so, in some ways. Modern control.
Yeah, from her partner Simon. No chains, no locked doors, but technology. Tracking her iPhone, spyware.
Constant surveillance.
Yeah, and controlling what she wears, even down to her underwear. He picks it out, red, laced with little bows, as if Kate herself is something to be unwrapped, to be torn open. It's just chillingly intimate control.
It really is. That detail is so telling.
And it extends to her body, too. He flushes her birth control pills, taking away her choice completely.
Cementing his power.
So when Kate finds out she's pregnant, the stakes are immense. She plans this meticulous escape to Cumbria, 7 hours, using a secret phone he doesn't know about. The book really nails that terror of being constantly watched.
It's quite something, isn't it?
Yeah.
How adaptable patriarchal control is. Alpha's got iron chains, Violet, a gilded cage, Kate, these invisible digital threads.
But the feeling, the terror, the isolation.
It feels the same.
Yeah.
universally binding. The novel suggests this ongoing societal fear of female independence, manifesting as witchcraft accusations, madness diagnoses, or this modern psychological abuse.
Makes you wonder how often that still happens in subtle ways.
Absolutely. It challenges you to look around, doesn't it?
It really does. The methods change, but the goal, suppressing, controlling, it feels horribly consistent. So, okay, they're facing all this confinement. Where do they find solid ground?
Which brings us to nature.
Exactly. That's where their connection to nature really comes into play. Our next bit, nature's embrace, sanctuary, spirit, and survival. For Eltha, back in her brutal 17th century world, this connection is just part of her. Her mother taught her about herbs, nature's rhythms, said it was as important a skill as knowing which herbs heal, right alongside reading.
Practical knowledge passed down.
Yeah. And even in that awful dungeon, the connection brings solace. A spider becomes her new friend, crawls on her neck, a tiny living thing in all that stone and despair.
A small sign of life.
And she remembers her mother's crow, its feathers sparkling with rain like a watchful companion. For the Weyward women, nature isn't just a resource, it's reciprocal.
A relationship.
Right. They believe nature, to us, was as much a life force as the very air we breathed, and that animals welcome our embrace. It's this deep spiritual bond, almost mystical.
And that bond defies the rational world that's trying to condemn her.
Definitely.
Then Violet's journey with nature. It's maybe the most poignant because she loses it and finds it again.
Right. That arc is powerful.
As a child, she loved the natural world around Orton Hall. Her special tree, the silver beach, collecting snail shells, butterfly cocoons, letting bees land on her arm, just delighting in it.
Pure childhood joy.
But her father's view was so rigid. Animals belonged on one's plate or mounted on one's wall, and that just crushed her spirit over time.
Societal pressure.
Exactly. She suppresses that love until the sound of a bee becomes a torment. The squirrel pierces her heart. It shows how conformity can cut us off from something fundamental.
It's heartbreaking, really.
But then later, reclaiming that bond.
Yeah.
Especially with the tansy plant. It's not just about survival. It's this defiant reawakening. Reclaiming her body, her agency, her true self.
That journey back is crucial. And for Kate in 2019, it's a similar rediscovery, though her initial loss was tied to tragedy.
Yeah, her father's death.
Right. As a kid, she loved insects, birds. But she repressed it after her father died, blaming herself because she was distracted by a crow.
That's heavy guilt for a child.
Huge. And it severed her from her instincts. But then when she escapes to Weyward Cottage, this isolated place, she starts to re-engage. Slowly. Listening to the hum of insects, water running over pebbles.
Letting it back in.
And there's that beautiful moment, a damselfly lands on her hand, and the word damselfly just swims up from the depths of her brain. It unlocks something forgotten.
Like remembering a part of herself.
Yeah. And this reawakening helps her feel attuned to things happening at such a great distance. The old sycamore tree, the crows, they become comforting, even protective.
And that's what the novel shows so well. Nature isn't passive. It's an active participant. A source of this profound, almost magical power, especially when society tries to strip these women of agency.
More than just a backdrop.
Oh, much more. It's refuge, teacher, source of ancient knowledge, and ultimately a source of strength to defy their oppressors. This connection becomes their resistance, often through plants, animals, echoing those historical associations that got women demonized.
It's not just solace, it becomes part of their identity, a weapon even, which takes us right into the Weyward legacy, unveiling a wild identity. This is where it all starts to connect, revealing what being Weyward truly means.
The pieces coming together.
So Altha's trial, the threat is explicit, questions about animal familiars, examining her for a witch's mark.
That physical search for proof of evil.
Yeah. Dr. Smithson points to a sore, calls it a mark, then backtracks, oh, just a flea bite.
Convenient retraction.
Right. And the prosecutor uses King James I's demonology to frame her as Satan's bride. It just screams societal paranoia about independent women, folk knowledge, and the villagers chanting, "Witch, hang the witch!
No.
The danger is real!"
Absolutely lethal danger. And then for Violet, decades later, the family secret comes out through the story of her mother, Elizabeth, who was just dismissed as mad.
Another label.
Another label. Her cousin Frederick's biased account describes Elizabeth with this ratty old bird on her shoulder, Morg's obviously diseased, ranting and raving, needing to be locked in. Later, her father Rupert's letters confirm this narrative, detailing Elizabeth's hysterical state, her delusions, and they reveal Dr. Radcliffe recommended an extreme course of action.
I remember this part. It's chilling.
A hysterectomy, based on this disturbing idea that the sexual organs could pollute the mind and cause madness.
Unbelievable.
This brutal surgery led to Elizabeth's death, officially a weakened heart. It's only later Violet learns her mother's maiden name was Weyward, finds the W on a locket on an old bureau.
The echoes. Alpha called witch, Elizabeth called mad.
Both punished for being outside the norm, for having this connection, maybe.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Kate's aha moments bring it all home.
Yes.
First, a local cashier mentions that Weyward lot, how they all do something. Then that whisper, witch.
Still lingering centuries later.
That ancient label still clinging to the name. Then Kate finds the W on Violet's headstone and on her own necklace pendant. The links are undeniable.
Physical proof connecting them.
But the real breakthrough is finding and reading Alpha's manuscript. Her journal.
The ancestral voice.
Yes. It confirms the lineage, its nature. This wildness inside gives us our name. Alpha writes, "Wayward women are bonded more tightly with the natural world. Feel nature in my heart. Claims crows watch over us and do our bidding."
Wow.
And she reveals a key trait. The first child born to a Wayward is always female. That's the moment. Madness. Witchcraft. They're transformed from insults or diagnoses into this powerful, inherited identity, a different kind of power.
It reframes everything, doesn't it? It makes you ask, how often has history pathologized female power, especially power tied to intuition, nature, anything challenging male authority?
Exactly.
The novel argues that what society called witchcraft for Alpha was actually this intuitive connection to nature, a wisdom that threatened the patriarchy, so it had to be demonized.
And Elizabeth's connection, her bird, twisted into proof of hysteria.
Leading to that horrific medical violence designed to basically crush her spirit. The story insists these labels aren't truth, they're tools of control. The real power is reclaiming that wildness.
And once they recognize and reclaim that power, it leads straight to our next part, breaking cycles, from victim to protector.
Moving from surviving to fighting back.
Alpha's story in the 17th century becomes one of radical protection. She acts because of John Milburn's horrific abuse of grace, forced pregnancies, the 2 blue corpse babies, the violence.
Unspeakable cruelty.
Alpha sees John tear off her cap and twist his fingers into her hair, and she just feels this. Fury flowed through my blood like fire.
Primal rage.
And her intentional act, using her connection to the crow to incite the events leading to John's death, it's not malice. It feels like a desperate, powerful act to protect Grace.
A form of justice, almost, outside the system.
And incredibly, she's acquitted. Despite defying the court, it feels like this tiny, significant crack in a system designed to crush women like her.
A miraculous moment. And for Violet, breaking the cycle means making this incredibly difficult personal choice.
The abortion.
Yes. To avoid her mother's fate alone in a locked room, suffering a gruesome, painful death, and to cut ties with Frederick's spore, as she puts it. She's his tansy.
An act of self-preservation, reclaiming her body.
Utterly, in a world trying to control it. And crucially, she finds an ally, her brother, Graham.
That felt important.
It really did. He helps her bury the fetus under the sycamore tree, helps mend the cottage window for fresh air. That small act of male kindness, support. It's a vital break from the pattern of male oppression in her family.
A sign of potential change. And then Kate. Her journey is from victim to this fully empowered protector of her own legacy.
Completing the circle, in a way.
Her first big decision, keeping her baby, defying Simon, reclaiming her future. Then she sheds the symbols of captivity, cuts her hair, it bristles from her scalp like a dark halo, ditches Simon's clothes for Violet's linen trousers and a loose tunic of green silk.
Taking back her image, herself.
And her confidence grows. She approaches Emily for a job, not begging, but asking directly, if you needed an assistant.
Finding her voice.
The climax is that confrontation with Simon. Her own rage, hot and bright, combines with this almost supernatural event, the frenzied, swelling mass of birds, crows on the roof.
The wayward power manifest.
Exactly. Empowered by her lineage, driving him away for good, it's the ultimate validation. And then naming her daughter Violet Alpha.
Solidifying that connection. Reclaiming the heritage.
It's a statement, a promise. Celebrating the strength passed down.
These stories really hammer home themes of self-preservation, reclaiming autonomy, and how vital that intergenerational support is, even if it's just through stories, manuscripts, and name and breaking cycles of abuse.
Finding real freedom
For you listening, it's a reminder that individual acts of defiance, maybe small at first but linked across time, can create this collective path to liberation. It shows the power women have to protect themselves, their children, their legacy.
What an incredible journey we've taken through Weyward. We saw Alpha, Violet, Kate, centuries apart, but facing such similar control, similar demonization.
Remarkable parallels.
Their stories remind us that the wildness inside that connection to nature, that intuitive power society often dismisses or fears it, isn't a curse.
It's resilience, connection, liberation.
Exactly. A legacy shaping not just their lives, but the whole lineage, creating a future where women can finally be truly free.
And this deep dive into Weyward, it really shows how powerful our own family stories, our personal histories can be. Even the parts we don't consciously know we've inherited. It leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What hidden strengths, what forgotten legacies, what kind of wildness might be lying dormant inside your own story, just waiting to be awakened.